Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back with another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Friday, August 3rd. We started early so we can hopefully get things done early, get all the news done. I suppose I could do some scheduling after today too and really put my nose to the grindstone. I need to play a bunch of minions that cost 5 or more, which inherently that means playing the hand druid deck here on the Asian account. So let's start that going. Let's see. And we've got, I think, enough news to certainly last us for all the daily quests, hopefully. First game we have on Steam for this recording is called Mega Milk Story. And with a name like that, you've gotta know that it includes and is tagged with sexual content and nudity. This is a, let's see. Get out of debt by raising Hanako into the finest chi-chi in the land, explore dungeons, complete quests, and find fame, and meet the cute girls that inhabit this new world. So, what this is a, I suppose it's probably mostly prevalent in anime fetish of a personification or depersonification of a character. So it's a anime girl that is a cow but it totally looks like a girl. Along with having giant breasts, of course, because it's a cow and does cows, large breasts, milks. Monster girls as a genre in general are pretty big in anime. This game also seems to have at least one boss of an octopus girl. Interesting. For the most part, like, Hanako is a cow. The character you're playing in is, I think, Aaron or Charlotte. Seems like it is an adventure action game. So, imagine if you were playing an RPG Maker, but a major focus of that was raising a cow. It seems like to me this is the combination of 3 or 4 gameplay concepts that don't really make sense. Because there's mining and fighting dungeons, and it looks like there might be some farming too. I think Princess Maker is probably a better concept of this game, because there there's more reason and more focus. Like in Princess Maker, you have the princess do these activities like mining or farming or attacking monsters, or activities similar to that at least. Here you have the main character doing the fighting and mining and farming, but it then comes back to raising the cow. I guess we haven't seen this before on Steam, and I would also say that there's not a lot indicating on what the sexual content really is going to be in this game, other than it's like you're trying to win the heart of like a queen, and she seems to lose clothing maybe at a certain point. Actually, this probably isn't an RPG Maker game, but it does look like one. Let's see. Action-based dungeon crawling with the difficult boss battles. Crafting system with 100+ craftable items. Build up your ranch through farming, mining, fishing, beekeeping, pets, and more. in the turn. Multiple endings, immersive character and story, optional plot heavy. Prologue, coming soon Steam achievements. Which coming soon Steam achievements means if Steam determines your game is worthy enough for Steam achievements, which this one probably wouldn't be. Sadly, I think the thing to say about this game, more than anything, Mega Melt Story, as we're wrapping up here, which it's 30% off for $9.79. It doesn't seem like you're, as the protagonist, sleeping with the cow / girl or any of the monsters, which I think then you've probably not pandered to the target market correctly, because I think that's generally what they want. This is a English and simplified Chinese game also. The animation's not bad, the gameplay itself is bad though. Let's see what else this developer's done. Nothing. So I guess this is the beginning. We will start to see more of this. Generally speaking, I think a Japanese style of this game would just have a character like that and not make it the full focus. But who knows? Certainly not the first time we've seen something that's close to the furry fandom. Although this is slightly different than a furry game.
Job's done.
Moving on to the next game, we have one called SpookyGhost.com, and it looks pretty bad. MS Paint level graphics. Says it's a 2D Metroidvania game. It's very, very small pixel graphics, and I think inherently that just is such an ugly artistic style to my eye. I just don't want to deal with that. Alright, let's hit this. Play. SpookyGhost.com is 10% off for $4.49, and I really don't have anything else to say about it. It's just ugly. An ugly game that even if it played perfectly, which it probably doesn't, I spent a previous recording yesterday, a couple days ago, looking at Metroidvania games to play, and this wouldn't come anywhere close to an already really long list of Metroidvania games to consider playing. This, do this, and that. The turn. The next game we have on Steam is called Sale and Sacrifice. It says it's early access action adventure RPG indie game. Looks like a pirate game with some on-ground interaction. The graphics look really, really bad. It says it came out August 3rd, 2018. So it's today, but boy do the graphics not look good. It feels like a early 90s game. And if people had, if they had sold it as that, then maybe I would be more willing to play. Let's see, let me read the review. In the single player open world adventure game, experience life as an 18th century pirate. Nope, nothing here saying this came out in the 90s. It can't have come out in the 90s. It's early access right now for $19.99. Inherently, I don't think you can go into early access with terrible graphics. Like, I think you go into early access with the final graphics, or you go into early access with just missing textures. I don't think you pay somebody to look at your game and then animate the textures, and then pay somebody else to animate the textures a second time. Interestingly, the second video that's playing here is called talking about a graphics update, and you're flying around seeing much better looking trees and rocks and water. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So I don't know, is there something where you can't have your main video changed on Steam? You can't replace it or move the old one down? I imagine you could do that. Alright, so now looking at the game with the graphics update, it looks a lot better, although I still don't see any reason why I'd want to play this pirate game. This really is one of those games where I'm gonna have to, if I'm ever gonna play it, somebody else is gonna have to tell me that it came out really good. And I'm gonna have to wait for a recommendation. It's first game on Steam by this developer. Also, so sale and sacrifice. No. It's just early access and trying something really ambitious. I'm not sure that there really is room for a good pirate game. Like, I think if you could make a good pirate game, people would play it, but I'm not sure you can make a good pirate game. It seems like Microsoft, it seems like other companies have tried, with Assassin's Creed Black Flag being one of the few that actually succeeded, and even at that, we hardly saw a spin-off series of pirate games in the Assassin's Creed universe. And I heard really nobody talking about the quality of...
I don't need any of you.
Of the sailing or pirating done in Assassin's Creed Origins. Moving on, next game we have on Steam is called Evil Spring Student Holidays. So this is an action indie violent horror game. To me it looks like a terribly animated and really dark top-down twin-stick shooter game with very generic colors, mostly all shades of green. Yeah, I see nothing here that would make me want to play this game. This is an English-Russian language game, 15% off for $5.09, and I think that's pretty much all I need to know about the game. What happened to the character? Here he is. Sorry, I am yawning. I'm not really sleepy, but I'm probably under oxygenated. The other reason why I yawn all the time. Just talking too much. This developer has put out mostly mixed reviewed games. Moving on. Probably need to speed things up, actually. Let's see. Is this developer have yes, the developer that released the free-to-play game Mojo Hanako has now released a game just called Mojo for 34% off for $1.97. And this is a pattern-based game, sort of like 2048, with kind of the completely pointless and out of nowhere addition of there being an animated girl. I wouldn't even say anime girl. The hips are way too thick. Like, this one girl's hips is literally wider than her head. I would say of the characters that are being shown, they're all rather tan characters too. So they're all large busts, very tan, different hair colors. It's about the only difference you get there. Different eye colors maybe. And I suppose there's no real timer on 2048, so you can just take your time, because that game would really fall apart. The weird thing about this is Mojo as a game probably isn't too bad of an idea. Just, it's so ridiculous and untrusting of your own product to say this game won't sell at all because so let's throw in some nudity. It's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, I really would like to find a game like Mojo without the girls. It would be easier as a YouTuber to play a game like it. It's a 2048 game that has different panel layouts so that it's not just always swiping the tiles up, down, left, or right. You have to sometimes swipe it up and then to the left and then up again, so it avoids a block or a hole. But yeah, I don't think Mojo is worth recommending. I think inherently it falls apart with just the character models. Yeah, you definitely are gonna have to have a specific type if you want to play that. We've gotten a lot of erotic sex games going on today. At this point, it feels like that's all my channel is becoming. It's not the intention, but it seems like it's happening. And it definitely still puts us in a weird position where I just don't know where Steam is with what they're allowing and what they aren't allowing, because it seems like they're allowing some things, but then there's stories of some things not being allowed. So I don't know. This game next, at least, is different. It's called Ding Dong VR, despite the name. It looks like it's a VR. Let's see. They say it's a neon-infused one-button arcade game. It's addictive, just one more round score chaser, adapted to be played in virtual reality. To me, it looks like it's a neon-infused top-down shooter, twin-stick shooter, something a la Asteroids. And it seems like what they've done is they've just put the screen in a 3D environment for VR and really not adapted anything here, because if you were playing something like this in VR, you would have to address issues of not having the character spin around and yet still having some kind of new perspective for this game, so you're not just looking at a screen. And I don't see how the motion tracking or anything adds anything to that puzzle at all. It's 30% off for $2.09, but I wouldn't recommend it. And that's interesting too. It's actually an incredibly cheap game for VR. I'm also seeing that it's Windows mixed reality compatible, which that certainly has a weird looking smiley face icon. The HTC Vive has a triangular icon. The Oculus Rift has a squashed circle icon, and then Windows mixed reality has just a smiley face or scuba. It's like a smiley face with glasses over its face. And this developer has made several other games that I don't think any of them were that good either. So, moving on.
Time waits for no one.
Eurogamer has an article. BioWare hears loud and clear fan demand for more Mass Effect Dragon Age. Something to take solace in. Mass Effect and Dragon Age developer BioWare, which I don't know if this really matters if BioWare hears the message loud and clear. The question is their parent company, which I believe is EA, going to hear that message loud and clear? BioWare has acknowledged the demand for further games in its two biggest series. It comes after a summer of showing and talking about Anthem, the studio's big and bold new project due in March 2019. I suppose you really are just painted into a corner when you work on a new project. You really have to commit to that new project, and any previous games you've made, I don't know if you hand it off to another company or what. You definitely run into instances where game developers just don't want to work on the things they're famous for anymore. But I think at that point you just license it and move it to a new company. Let's see, even the article continues, BioWare is in a funny place. On one hand, it has a rare shot at creating a new world and fresh universe of fiction for the first time in over a decade, which is truly exciting. On the other, it is doing so at a precarious time for Mass Effect, and while its long awaited next Dragon Age chapter lies in limbo, fans don't want to see these abandoned, hence this new statement. I think it's sort of unrealistic to say that Anthem is a new world with a fresh universe of fiction. For what's been shown, it seems like it is much closer to being just a boring, played out first-person shooter, third-person shooter game, with boring, played out sci-fi elements. Like, the thing is, of all the trailers, of all the hype they've tried to make for Anthem, I haven't seen like any kind of cute creature. So no porgs. I haven't seen any kind of robots like R2-D2, C-3PO. I haven't seen any other kind of aliens, no Jar Jar Binks. I'm just gonna name a bunch of random Star Wars references here. I'm not seeing any Chewbacca's, I'm not seeing any Wookiees, I'm not seeing anything other than a bunch of people shooting some boring looking creatures that are mostly humanoid. And I'm not seeing any like alien artifacts. I'm not seeing any I'm not seeing any ancient temples. I'm not seeing plants or trees that seem alien in any way. So what is how is this a new world? How is this a fresh universe? Like, of all the things in Mass Effect, where there was a large collection of of things in Mass Effect.
Engaging TC-130. Mental dislocation.
I'm not seeing anything like that. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention, but I doubt that's really the case. Alright, how are we going? This and this in the turn. Let's see. Is there really anything more to be said as far as this Your Gamer article? Not really. They've got 3 or 4 small paragraphs that are barely 1 or 2 sentences long. Just responding to this one very short statement. The quote here is, "We hear loud and clear the interest in BioWare doing more Dragon Age and Mass Effect," end quote. And then there's another quote, "So rest assured that we have some teams hidden away working on some secret stuff that I think you'll really like, and we're just not ready to talk about any of it for a little while." I highly suspect that this is a disingenuous statement. I wouldn't be surprised if there's been literally no funding for Mass Effect since Mass Effect Andromeda flopped, and maybe the most minimal amount of funding for a Dragon Age game. And this article really is just also linking back to your gamer, I guess, affiliated video of 14 things you need to try in Mass Effect Andromeda. Which I think there are exactly 0 things at this point you need to do in Mass Effect Andromeda. Did I play enough characters finally? There we go. Good, we can now move over to the European account. Now that those are done. So move over to Europe. I also need to check the collection because there was an update. I might be able to look at the cards. And if I can look at the cards, then I need to spend the rest of the day looking at all of the new things.
Oh, it's good to see ya.
I think all the new cards have already been announced and talked about. I don't think that there's really gonna be a change at all. So let's see, if we go into crafting mode here, and apparently I had a pack I didn't disenchant. I think I am disenchanting these. I just feel like the game is probably glitching out. So Boomsday in crafting, including uncraftable cards. So they all are here already, so I'm gonna have to wake up a little bit more, and we're gonna stream that later today, I guess. Should be streaming it right now, actually. Let's see. Let's get rid of rogue victories. Play 12 beasts. That's actually a really easy thing. Let's see if we can do this and this. Yeah, we've got the Tavern Brawl already done. Mid-range hunter. Easy enough to play. Next game we have on Steam is called Photonic Distress. That's PHOTONIC. It's tagged as action, adventure, indie, casual. It says it's a blend of first-person, third-person puzzle platformer with unique twists. Navigate your way through randomly generated dark levels, lighting your way up and collecting memory fragments to wake up. Okay. I'm seeing some decent looking graphics for something that says it's a puzzle platformer. It's basically a guy in a suit that is half a Boba Fett and half a Dead Space suit. Interesting. But I'm seeing like a trailer. Maybe the guys in the suits are the bad guy, because I'm also seeing this character that is a like glowing blue human and just in just outfits, like standard average guy clothing, t-shirt, and looks like maybe shorts, maybe jeans. Let's see. This is a rather cinematic trailer. Every single character in this trailer is swinging their arms differently, walking differently. Somebody really spent some effort to make this look good. But also, this trailer seems to have nothing to do with anything. So they just use some kind of machine to put a standard suit on him. So it's like these creatures are creatures of light. These humans are, and they're like magically just lifting him up in the air and having him move. They seem to be trying to help him, though. They don't seem like they're doing anything bad. The developer of this is called Grip 420, which that's an unfortunate name. And it seems like you have some kind of gun. And it seems like you're going to be running around. Honestly, this might be an asset flip, but boy, have they put a lot of work into this to make this as an asset flip. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Let's see, 25 achievements. $12.14. Yeah, there's just way too much polish, and this just looks too good to be a troll game. It's the first game from this developer, but yeah. So, in almost 2 hours of looking at games, I've found exactly two worth putting on my wish list. Keep an eye on at least. I guess that's not inherently a bad thing though. Like, in all honesty, I'm perfectly happy with almost every single game being not worth my time.
Your magic shall not save you.
For instance, this next game on Steam is called Digital Jigsaw Puzzle. I've seen so many jigsaw puzzle games. None of them seem to offer anything new. It seems like it's probably a Unity asset that's just being flipped. 50 Steam achievements, 40% off for $2.99. I think you could probably do better, but I'm not sure what you'd do better with it, frankly. Probably Tabletop Simulator, but I don't know if Tabletop Simulator can do jigsaw puzzles. Like, I know there was a jigsaw puzzle game I had in like the early 90s that was pretty good, and this game doesn't look as good as that. Because at least that game, which I can't remember the name of, you could import your own images, and you had this 3D gallery area you could walk around and just use continuously play the game and have fun with it. I think you could load your own MP3s and other things, so there was a lot of customization there. That doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like most of the time when you see a jigsaw puzzle game on Steam, they want to sell you a game that has only 5 to maybe 100 items, puzzles, and then they want to sell you another game with 5 to maybe 100 other puzzles, when it should just be you should purchase one jigsaw puzzle game for your entire life in the digital format. So Revolution Software is happy, I suppose, to announce that they're bringing Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse, to the Switch on the 21st of September. I'm looking at the trailer of it right now. It looks like you might have a little bit of awkwardness playing the game on the Nintendo Switch, but probably not too much. Seems like you can play with the Joy-Cons controls or the touch screen at any time. Inherently, I don't think the interface is going to be the problem with this. What's going to be the problem is that Broken Sword 5 was just not a good game, in my opinion. It seemed, having recently played all of the Broken Sword games, Broken Sword 1 in its original form and Broken Sword 2 in its original form have some nostalgia for me, and 3, 4, and 5 just got progressively worse. It's a real shame. Let's see. Next game we have on Steam is called Smile and Slide. It seems like it's a physics-based running game where you're playing as a cube that's sliding on things, and there's little points on the map that shoot you up into the sky, and you're falling down different slides. Well, inherently there doesn't seem like there's anything wrong with this game as a concept. It's not worth the $1.59 it's selling for right now. The thing here is it's just another one of these low effort games, just not enough there to be a game, frankly. If you were gonna make a game with a bunch of slides, I think you then have a burden to make a game almost as good as Mirror's Edge, because Mirror's Edge is inherently a game where you run away, and it's a game about running, and they had to put a lot of polish and a lot of story and a little bit of fighting gameplay mechanics in there just to justify the fact that 90% of that game is running. And I don't think Smile and Slide has this. And this is from a developer who's made several games, but none of them really have interested me. So let's move on. PC Gamer has an article. Ninja becomes the first Twitch streamer to reach 10 million followers. Take that for what it's worth, but remember that PewDiePie has 80 million subscribers. So, does that mean Ninja is making 1/8 of what PewDiePie makes in money? Who knows? There's a lot of factors in there, but it does give you an indication of maybe you will never get as many subscribers as PewDiePie on Twitch. Maybe, almost certainly, you'll never get as many subscribers as PewDiePie on YouTube. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe 10 million followers is more than enough to cause a person to be successful. The follow-up article on something like this is to say, interview Ninja and say, hey, are you making $1 million a year, or are you making $100,000 a year, or are you making $1,000 a year? Are you making any money at all? And I suppose Ninja has at least succeeded mostly to keeping his nose clean, because on this article there's nothing here that is reported about him being a scumbag or anything like that. And almost certainly PC Gamer would bring that up if there was something to bring up. Give them time, I'm sure they'll find something to complain about. This PC Gamer article writer says he has 18 Twitch followers. I don't know how many Twitch followers I actually have. As somebody who basically has his Twitch thing as private and is only using it as a backup. Let's see. We've got lots of games being given away in August.
Cleanse the sun well.
Alright, let's see. Channel. Analytics. Where was my top clips? One person watched a honeypop video on Twitch. Like, none of this is loading up. Dashboard achievements. Maybe it'll be listed on achievements. Update your game category and community. Path to affiliate. Stream for 8 hours, stream for 7 days, average 3 viewers, path to partner. Now, I believe I recently saw the Be a Partner on Steam. It is actually like only 500 subscribers or followers versus the 1,000 that YouTube requires. So that might be. Let's see. It says reach 50 followers and yeah, I'm 60% done to reach 50 followers. So apparently I'd have to do some math there. Have 50 viewers at the same time. Well, I guess I've got 10 followers because I've completed the achievement of 10 followers. I wonder. I've certainly thought about it. Like, YouTube certainly isn't working at all right now for me, so I certainly have thought about moving these streams in particular to Twitch. I'm certainly open to feedback from that. It really would just have to be a matter of, are people very much wanting me to move over to Twitch to the point where they're subscribing and following my channel and helping it get monetized. I still think for the most part the pre-recorded footage would be initially uploaded to YouTube, but that just transfers over anyways, so we could certainly have a split system there.
What now?
Moving on, I keep having these pauses where I'm just taking a breath and I'm kind of falling asleep. I'm definitely noticing that too. PC Gamer has an article, the Steam Board Games Weekend Sale is live. Get up to 90% off board games that don't have boards. So games like Scythe, Armello, Twilight Struggle, Lords of Waterdeep, Blood Bowl, Tabletop Simulator for $10, which is 50% off. You Don't Know Jack Classic Pack is $10. That's what their suggestion is. Let me just click on the link and see if there's anything more I would suggest.
Hunt alone.
Let's see. Hand of Fate 2 is 20% off. I heavily would suggest everybody get Tabletop Simulator. If you ever play any tabletop game with people and you feel like those people might ever move away, doing online what you did before in the same room is a great idea. And I seriously doubt there will be another Tabletop Simulator to replace this Tabletop Simulator coming out anytime soon. Hand of Fate 1 is $9.99. I don't know if that includes the DLC though. Dead Exit is 70% off for $1.79. A lot of these games don't make any sense unless you've played the board games and know what they are in the first place. Ticket to Ride is 60% off for $3.99. I own Ticket to Ride. I reviewed it. I don't know if it's really worth owning digitally. It's also, I believe, one of the most greedy games as far as DLC. So while you may get the main gameplay style for $4, you're probably going to spend a lot more. Kings of Israel is 75% off for $1.24. Yeah, I don't know if I could even play a game like that. Risk, I could get Risk for $1.99. That one might be worth owning just as a game to play. Or maybe somebody could be so kind as to gift it to me. 3D Chest is 65% off for $3.49. 3D Chest looks like it might be good. Ancient Go is 20% off for $3.99. Ah, Battle Chess. I didn't know you could get Battle Chess. Battle Chess, which is the old DOS-based game, is 50% off for $4.99. Wow, that is ridiculous. Ridiculously expensive. Backgammon Blitz is $1.19. Let's see, Chess 2 is $2.99. I've got to keep on playing. Let's do this. This. Turn. What is this? Fairyland Fairy Power? Apparently is considered a casual game. Jackbox Party Pack is $9.99. Dangerous High School Girls in Trouble is apparently some kind of card game. It's $11.99. I think I've heard of that game just from the ridiculous name. 100% Orange Juice is an anime looking game for $1.74. Scrabble is $1.99. A lot of You Don't Know Jack games of the old ones. The Witcher adventure game. So yeah, there's a collection of games there that I'm going to add to my wish list that are on sale. Things I hadn't really thought about. Have I still not played enough Beast? Nope. But yeah, there's definitely something to think about there as far as just tabletop games and things on sale. There is also, I saw a rumor going along that flash sales are going to come back up.
Rexa versus Gul'dan.
Yep, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to go and take a break, a little bathroom break. So I'm going to just end this recording early, and then we'll come back in about 20 minutes. So apologies for that. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me, friend me on Steam, gift me a game or a gift card. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.